Hey everyone, thank you for joining me again on Trade Talks, and I want to begin this episode with a question. And if you only listen to this question and you turn it off, that's fine because I'm giving you something to think about, and I really want you to think about it. If something were to happen to you today that you would be removed from this earth, or if you're a pastor or a ministry leader and your ministry or organization would be blown off the map today and no longer effective in your city and your community, would you be missed? Would your nonprofit be missed? Would your church be missed? Would your Christian school be missed? Would you, as an individual, if you were not here, other than your immediate family, would you be missed? I hope it didn't take you very long to come up with the answer, and I hope the answer was yes. But I'm afraid in many cases, that's not going to be the answer. I'm afraid there's churches all over our cities and our communities that could be taken off the face of the map and no one would care. Or the members could just disperse and go to other churches in the community because they just liked your soft chairs better than somebody else's soft chairs. And they're not there because of the impact that you are making in their lives or the impact that you as an individual is making in somebody else's life. And so today I just want to talk about how to make an impact that will last. Guys, again, thank you for being here. And as I introduce this video, we're talking about making an impact. How can I make an impact that lasts? I just want to give you some simple steps to follow that you can be guaranteed to be making an impact in the lives of others. And the first thing we've got to understand as we're dealing with this idea of making an impact is I've got to ask myself the reason why. I'm afraid so many people, and again, from where I'm coming from, this is the idea of a pastor, but so many pastors and people are making relationships and building contacts for one sole purpose, and that's themselves. If I'm in sales, I'm making connections and I'm making contacts for the betterment of me and my paycheck and my organization. If I'm a nonprofit and I need clients, then I'm going to do everything I can to build relationships, to build up my clients or my base. If I'm in ministry, I'm going to be doing everything I can in ministry to fill my church pews or my chairs on Sunday so I can pay rent on this building and I can go forward doing the things that I want to do and I can be guaranteed a job the next week. And if my motives are selfish in ambition, if my motives in trying to reach a community or make an impact on others is all about me, I can forget making a lasting impact. Because people can read right through that. They know if you're there for them or you're there for yourself. Am I doing these podcasts for me? Am I getting rich off of this? Hardly. I am just doing this so the few people that listen, if I can make an impact on their lives and I can make a difference and they can get one thing, in the average of 2 minutes that people listen to this podcast, if they can take away one thing in those 2 minutes, then I've accomplished my purpose. I've done what I'm set out to do and why I've taken time to do this, because it's my heart's desire to make an impact on the next generation, to make an impact on those who watch YouTube videos, to make an impact on those who listen to podcasts, just to make an impact on those who sit in my congregation on Sunday mornings. Look, it's not about building a crowd. It's not about attendance. I have no idea how many people have been sitting in my church in the last 3 weeks. Not a clue what the attendance numbers are, and I don't care. But what I can tell you is this past Sunday, I had one man and another family visit, and I was so excited to have them there, and I would so love for them just to keep coming to faith and to keep coming to church and to be there, and so we can make an impact on their lives week in and week out. How about you? I mean, are you working with people that would say if you left your job, it would leave a hole in your company? If you were to leave your place of business right now and go to another organization, would they be upset that you are leaving? Or would it be like your hand is in a 5-gallon jug of water, and when you pull your hand out, that's like you leaving your company, and you leave and everything goes back to the way it was? I trust that's not the case. And if it is, I want you to examine and reflect on why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you building these relationships? Why are you going to these community events? So you can put yourself in a better play as a politician, or you can put yourself in a position to make an impact for the lasting kingdom of God. So why are you doing what you're doing? Number 2, you've got to be genuine. As you go in and building these relationships, as you go in and try to make an impact on others, relationship is key. Look, I can make no impact on the life of my children if I have zero relationship with them. Okay, if I have no communication with them. I can make little to no impact on the people sitting in my church on a Sunday morning if I am not building a relationship, if I am not communicating with them. Now, we do 2 services on Sunday morning, and there's people that come at 9 that do not know the people that come at 11, but I know both. And I want to know both. And I want my pastors to know both, because I want us to be continually building relationships in our church community. And I want to reach the young married couples, and I want to reach the young parents, and I want the super 60s or the young at heart or the senior saints, whatever we call them, to be able to go out on buses together and do trips. And I want them to have that relationship with each other, but I want them to have that with us as well. I want to be making an impact in the lives of all age groups. And I want you to be able to do the same. You say, Craig, I'm not a pastor. What's this have to do with me? Look, you're in contact with a variety of age groups all the time. My average listener right now listening is between 30 and 50 years old. And if you're listening to this and that's you are of the age right now that you should be making a major impact on others. Titus talks about how the older should be teaching the younger. And I know at 30 you think you're young. You ain't young. Just ask my 15-year-old son if he thinks that you're young or old, and he'll be glad to tell you. And if he doesn't, my 13-year-old daughter will. Look, if you're in your 30s, you're old. I remember as an 18-year-old college student thinking 24-year-olds were ancient. And it's all about that perspective. So don't waste your age. This is your time to reach out, and from your years of experience and for your time, the things that God has taken you through, to invest in others. Are you investing in others today? Are you making an impact in the lives of those younger than you? Are there younger people in your community? Do you know them? Have you had them over on the front porch to have a cup of coffee or water? Have you invited them into your home for dinner? Are you communicating with them? Are you giving them some parenting skills? None of us were great parents, but maybe something that can help them as you can see they're frustrated in that. That's our calling, folks. That's what we should be doing. If I'm going to make a lasting impact, okay, let's just use, again, going back to the neighborhood. And I leave this neighborhood, I hope I leave a hole in this neighborhood. And if you're moving out of your neighborhood, I hope the neighbors are like, oh, we're going to have a hard time replacing them or a family like that in this neighborhood. That's the way it should be. That's how we make an impact, and that's how we make lasting impacts on those around us. It's by 1, examining our goals, and by 2, building those relationships. And those relationships that I'm talking about, 3, we must take time. I can't just take 30 seconds, say, hey, how you doing? And hey, man, that was some game last night, and expect that to make a difference. Trust me, you're not making an impact on anybody by doing that. You're not making an impact by blowing into church, singing a few hymns, and blowing out of church, and not talking or engaging with anybody. In order to do this, it takes time. I think of my 2 boys, and they enjoy golf. They enjoy more than golf even. We enjoy running together. And I love running with my boys. Now, can I keep up with them? Well, my youngest, not a chance, man. He is fast. But my middle son, my oldest son, yes, I can. Coleman and I, we can run together. We'll take off today here in a little bit. They'll run 4 miles. I'll run 3. On the turn, Cade will run 5. And on the turn at 4, Coleman will come back. About the time he comes back, I hit 3. And we'll run back together. And we'll just have a great time talking and having conversation together. And we love to golf together. And we talk and we have that communication. All those things are important, but the point is what? The point is we are one-on-one, it's just us, and we're building that relationship. We're taking time to communicate. And that's what it takes. You've got to take time. You've got to sit down with people and spend time with them. And not time talking about you and your accomplishments and what you've done and how great of a parent you were and how you did this and you did that. No, okay? To listen. To take time to listen. Know how to ask the questions. Know how to lead into this conversation and listen to what they have to say. And I'm telling you, if you go in with the right purpose and you go in with the idea of I'm building a relationship and you go in with the mentality that I'm not in a hurry and I'm going to sit here for an hour or an hour and a half, however much time it takes to build a relationship with this person, I'm telling you, then you're going to start making changes in their lives and you're going to start to leave an impact. And so what happens then is I do this and I build it. It allows me then to start asking questions and talking about things that I normally wouldn't talk about with somebody I don't know. It'll allow me to go in and start talking about conflict. It'll allow me to go in and start talking about how is your marriage. It'll allow me to go in and start talking about how are you dealing with your kids being this age right now. It'll allow me to go in and start talking about politics, all those things. And they'll feel safe talking to me about those things because of the relationship that we have built up to this point, because they know that I'm in this for more than just an added member to my church, because honestly, that's the last thing on my mind. And they know that I'm not in this for any other reason but for them, because I love them and I care about them and I want them to change and I want them to make an impact for God one day. Now, is that you? Are you going in with that mentality? Are you going in with that mindset? Man, if you are, then you need to, and you say, Trey, I want this, then you need to take these steps. Man, just pray about God bringing someone your way or God putting someone on your heart that you can start this process with. You can start building this relationship with. You can start saying, hey, do you want to go out for coffee? Hey, you want to go play 9 holes of golf? If you don't know them, start with 9, then go to 18. You know, you start building these relationships and you start taking it step by step. And before you know it, man, you've got a great thing going. And you do this and you replicate it over and over and over. You see a neighbor struggling to mow their grass and their weed eater's not starting and you take yours over and just do it. Whatever. It's these little things that you're building. And as you build and build, then these relationships build and build. And man, by the time you turn around, you've got not only a good friend, but you've got somebody you've been able to make an impact on. And then you've got one over here, and then you've got another over here, and another over here. And then they realize what you've done for them, and they want to do that for others, and they start making impact on others, and you've replicated yourself over and over and over again. You've done what I call the 2 Timothy 2:2 principle, where you've taken the things that you've learned, you've committed them to others, and they're taking that and committing it to others, and you're replicating yourself over and over and over. And man, before you know it, when you take off the face of this earth, you might be gone, Treg might be gone, but his impact is lasting and others are carrying that forward. So if you will, I never die. But these things that I've been able to instill in others are going to others and others. You say, but Treg, I'm doing that with my kids, and that's great, and they could do the same. But you've got a greater calling than just your children, right? You've got this Matthew 28 calling. You've got your Jerusalem, and then you've got your Judea, and then you've got your Samaria. Then you've got your uttermost parts of the earth. Are you going to the uttermost? Are you reaching internationals in your community? Are you reaching people right now for Christ that can take the gospel other places? I saw a picture today of an event we did at the church 8 years ago, and so many of those people are gone. But yet so many of those people I know are still in communication with me today, and they're making an impact on others because of the small impact I was able to have in their lives for Christ. And that should be your goal as well. So don't lose focus. Man, have that desire to make a change in not only your own life, but in the lives of others around you, starting at home and going forward, and see how God can use you to build those relationships, to make an impact on others. And who knows how God will use you to make an impact, an eternal impact for Him right where you are. Man, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, like it, share it, write a review for me if you would like. And we just want to get this out again. This isn't about me. This is just about encouraging you to continue on in your walk of faith and to encourage others as well. So if you know this will be a blessing or an encouragement to someone else, like, subscribe, send it on. And we look forward to being with you again in the near future. Have a wonderful day, everyone.